Which blood pressure reading is more important, systolic or diastolic? Today, we dive deep into a matter that touches the heart of every family over 50. Imagine your body as a fortress that defends against an unseen enemy. Every beat of your heart sends pressure like a protective army through your blood vessels. But what if one part of that army becomes too aggressive? What if the numbers you see on the cuff hold secrets that could decide your fate? Every time you check your blood pressure, you see two numbers. The first, the systolic pressure, is the force that your heart uses to push blood through the arteries. It is the burst of energy when you stand up, when you take that extra step, or when the excitement of life makes your heart race. The second number, the diastolic pressure, is the quiet, resting force when your heart is at peace. For many years, doctors believed that diastolic pressure was the key indicator of heart health. They saw it as the foundation of the entire cardiovascular system. They were convinced that if the resting pressure was off, the fortress was in danger. But times have changed, and so has our understanding. New research from trusted sources like the American Heart Association and Mayo Clinic shows us that both numbers are critical. One study even revealed that in seniors, the systolic number can be more dangerous than once thought. With age, the arteries tend to stiffen. This stiffness makes the systolic pressure climb even when the diastolic pressure seems normal. For someone over 50, this rise in systolic pressure is not just a number. It is a warning signal that the walls of the fortress may soon crack. Imagine a scenario where a man in his early 60s wakes up one morning and checks his blood pressure. His systolic reading is higher than usual. He dismisses it, believing that his resting pressure is normal. But deep inside, his arteries are under siege. The heart is working overtime, and the risk of heart attack or stroke is growing. Trusted studies confirm that high systolic pressure is the most common form of high blood pressure in people older than 65. This is not just a statistic. It is a call to action for every one of us to listen carefully to what our body tells us. On the other hand, an elevated diastolic pressure carries its own threats. The diastolic number reflects the baseline pressure in the main artery, the aorta, which runs from your heart down to your legs. Picture the aorta as a major pipeline that, if strained over time, can develop a dangerous bulge. This condition, known as an abdominal aortic aneurysm, can be life-threatening if that bulge ruptures. The quiet, persistent pressure builds up like a ticking bomb. One moment, everything seems fine, the next, disaster strikes. Medical experts have warned that consistently high diastolic pressure can weaken the aorta in a way that makes it susceptible to sudden rupture. There is a twist to this tale. Some might wonder which number is more important, and the answer is not as simple as choosing one over the other. Both numbers carry weight. One study compared individuals with controlled blood pressure through medication against those with no history of high blood pressure. The findings were startling. Even with medication, the risk of heart disease remained higher in those who once had high readings. For instance, a 30-year-old with a history of high blood pressure faces a lifetime risk of heart disease that is significantly greater than someone who always maintained normal levels. This story is a reminder that medication alone is not a magic shield. Continuous monitoring and lifestyle changes remain essential. You might ask, what can you do if your numbers start to climb? The answer lies in taking proactive steps. Begin by keeping a daily log of both your systolic and diastolic readings. This record is more than data, it is your personal story of health. Share it with your doctor and discuss any sudden changes. Experts from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute stress that a healthy diet, regular exercise, and stress management can make a profound difference. These small changes can lower your numbers and strengthen the defenses of your fortress. Now, imagine if you ignore these signs. A high systolic reading might be brushed off as a momentary surge. But if you neglect to address it, the risk of heart attack or stroke looms closer with every unchecked day. Similarly, failing to control a rising diastolic pressure could eventually lead to that dangerous aneurysm. The cost of inaction is steep, and the stakes are too high to gamble with your health. This is not a tale meant to scare you into despair. Instead, it is a story of empowerment. Knowledge is the key to unlocking a future where you control the outcome. It is a call to stand guard over your own well-being. Each time you measure your blood pressure, you hold the power to change your story. Listen to those numbers and take action now, before they turn into irreversible warnings. Remember that your health is your most valuable asset. The systolic and diastolic readings may appear as simple numbers, but they represent the strength of your heart and the integrity of your blood vessels. Ignoring either can lead to severe consequences. The message from trusted medical experts is clear: be vigilant, be proactive, and be informed. The choices you make today could determine the fate of tomorrow. Do not let a silent enemy take control. Step forward with knowledge and determination. The fortress of your body deserves nothing less than your best efforts.